Good evening. I'm Manjit Minhas, but I'm an engineer who makes beer, who's on TV every Wednesday night in your family room. And I believe the next generation needs to be practical. So for the next 7 minutes, I am also going to be. I believe that the most important skill that any entrepreneur or any individual, including millennials and especially millennials, can possess is the art of pitching. I think it's so important for them to learn how to effectively pitch themselves, their company, and their product or service. That these are unique times, and in corporations and for entrepreneurs. And mastering the art of the pitch when looking for venture capital, as many people are these days, for finding a job, or to just sell their product or service, can really make the difference in pursuits, whether they're successful or not. So I'm going to focus on what a venture capitalist, such as myself, looks for in a great pitch, especially from the next generation and hopefully our next leaders. So we want them to answer the 5 W's, really go back to basics. What? What is the business in a couple of clear, short sentences? I really want to know immediately, is it a me too? Or is it something innovative or unique? We don't have long attention spans anymore. I used to maybe 15 years ago when hearing a pitch, but not anymore. I never sit when I listen to a pitch, and trust me, I've in the last couple of years seen and heard about 600. I never sit there and think, I wish this guy or girl would talk about their life story for the next 15 minutes. No, I'm sitting there wondering, what is their business? What are they going to do? How are they going to change the world? And maybe mine as an investor while they're at it. And so the key for me to understand it, whatever it may be, is that I understand it. And I won't invest in anything that I don't have any knowledge about or any background in. And on Dragon's Den, I usually invest in consumer packaged goods. That leads me into the next W. Why? Why me? How can my background and expertise help you? And have you done your research? And do you know me personally? This is, in this day and age of social media and all the research out there, you really have a knock against you, especially the next generation, if you don't do your research, because it's at your fingertips. You don't need to go to the public libraries. You don't need to look in Britannia Encyclopedia to find out about any topic or any industry. So do your research. And the foundation for a great pitch absolutely is the research you do before the meeting starts. I really believe that people have to prove why the business idea in this day and age, because there are so many startups and so many businesses every day opening, that people really need to provide enough detail to prove that they can follow through and deliver, but an aerial view to prove that they have a vision. Where? Geographically, where is this business going to be? Do you have the expertise in that city, in that country, in that province? And do you understand regulations? Do you understand competition in that area? And the challenges that you will face? When? When will the business be ready to be launched? Or is it angel investing? Not all investors, such as me, are not willing to invest in long-term businesses. I want it now, as do many investors. I can sit on it maybe for a year or two, but not for a really long time. Because I strongly believe, as my businesses were successful, that you need to be out of the gates fast and beat the next person to the marketplace. And I always do believe that you can iterate, but you have to start somewhere now. And so I believe that the next generation takes too long getting all their ducks in a row before they actually get to the marketplace. You can iterate, and all great companies who've lasted the test of time iterate as they go along, but you do have to start somewhere by getting out there in front of your potential customers. And lastly, who? Who are you? In the end of the day, I'm not a pundit, and I don't know for certain whether or not your business is going to be successful with or without my money. But I want to know whether you as an individual have grit and perseverance. And when failure occurs, and it does sooner or later for every entrepreneur and every person in a career for that matter. Actually, I could write a long book on all the failed beer brands that I've had over the last 17 years. So failure does occur even for the most successful. How are you going to handle it? And also, most importantly, I really believe in familiarity. Familiarity breeds content. And I think that way too many people really do not focus on saying their pitch over and over and over again. That's the only way that you could get good at it and familiar with yourself, with what works for you and what connects with your audience and your potential investors. It's said that you need to do it 25 times before you get it right and before it's convincing and effective. And so I tell people 25 times, not necessarily to potential investors. It can be anybody, colleagues, friends, family, the dog even. They're all great audiences and auditors of your pitch. So my message to the next generation is invest in your pitch because you invest in yourself then. Thank you.